Hello, this is Matthew Robert Payne, and this is Tolu Sarah Johnson, and we want to welcome you to this channel. And if you haven't watched before, well, tune in and buckle up because we're going to interview someone from heaven, and Tolu's going to introduce them. I don't know who they are yet.
You don't know where they are. Okay. So we welcome you, Papa, Jesus, and Holy Spirit. We welcome the inhabitant of earth and heaven. And we welcome Diana, June, and who? There's one more.
Bethany.
Bethany. How can I forget your name, Bethany? So we welcome you all. So I hope you are all doing well. So who are we going to speak to today? We are going to speak to Jonathan, the atheist.
Ah, wow.
Yeah. Why not? Since I was already having conversation with him and Mark without even knowing I was. So it's a good idea to speak to Jonathan, don't you think?
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah. So at least we can catch up on where he is now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
uh, he's happy. So you're going to say hello to him?
Hello, Jonathan. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. We're all excited about your songs that you're going to write for atheists, and
Oh,
we're happy about the book God and the Atheist. And Matthew's looking forward to that, and also Matthew had a dream about a lion attacking his brother and killing his brother, and
wow.
he
Not a
said
good dream.
he doesn't remember his dreams too much, but he remembered that dream. And he looked up the person he used to do dream interpretations with, and she cost
Yeah.
$49 American, but it's too much for him. So he went on to Fiverr and found a prophet that does it for $20 Australian. And so he sent it in there, and it should arrive tomorrow. So might be some integral information that Matthew's meant to know. Doesn't normally remember his dreams. So I'm excited about the book coming out. We're excited about the 11 songs, and Matthew like
Hey.
10.
Yeah.
10. Well, one more. I can see one more song coming out.
Maybe we could squeeze one more in. That's I'm always a even number person, don't you think? Yeah, but 11, it's not a bad number.
No, it's all right.
Yeah.
All right. I really love you, Tolu. Ever since you started in heaven and Jesus answered all my questions, I really become like a Jesus follower. I'm really into
Wow.
Jesus. Jesus has invested thousands of hours into me. I'm a little
Uh,
bit like you that I had hundreds of questions and 3 days when Jesus accepted me into heaven. But since then I've asked him thousands of questions, and like I head up interviews with God, and I ask him questions, and there's a lot of
yeah.
us that do that. You'll be pleased to hear that since the purging of heaven, the bad clothing or the bad yeast has gone out of heaven, and the people are a lot more happier. If you get the impurities out of your food, your body starts to operate better. If you change the food you're eating, your body performs better. And since there's been a purging in heaven, that the attitude and the excitement and level of glory in heaven has increased. And I'm pleased to report that a lot of the people are not only reading your book assignment each day, but a lot more people are tuning into the interviews with God. And I've got a lot more people in the last few weeks been tuning into my podcast, and there's a lot of comment
Wow.
and a lot of feedback. And
Wow.
I've had to put on a team of people to respond to the comments and answer the comments because, like
Wow.
you were talking to Matthew that not everyone could minister these songs that you're producing and minister in this ministry, because it takes the years worth of theology and years worth of understanding to be able to communicate the message. In the same way, I needed really mature people to answer
Wow.
my comment streams on my podcast, because they need proper answers, not just guesses. And
Absolutely.
there's a lot of not just yes men in the world. There's a lot of guess men in the world. There's a lot of people.
I
A
love
lot of
that.
people give you answers and they're not sure of the answer, but they're just making up an answer for you that sounds right. And I found that over many years as an atheist, asking questions, and there's a lot of guess men. There's even a song in that. I don't want a yes man. I don't want a guess man. I want to hear from God. And
Wow. 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 A
and
lot of guests.
there's a lot of guess men in the Christian faith.
I love that. Kindergarten babies.
Yeah,
Wow. Man, I love that. A lot of guests, man. Maybe we could write a song on that. Don't you
yeah,
think?
yeah. I think
Oh,
I think you could, Tolu. That could be the 11th atheist song.
we don't need
I don't want another guess man.
it's bad. Wow. Man.
We want answers. We don't want your guesses. We want your consideration. We don't want your yeses.
Yeah.
We want your love from above, not love from your flesh. Uh,
Mm. Wow. Maybe Matthew can write the lyrics for that one, isn't it?
yeah. To be honest, Matthew's happy with people viewing, and he's had a piece about this YouTube interruption. That's probably what took it offline the other day. Uh,
Yeah, but they
and
didn't send any email to inform me, you understand? So I
yeah,
just knew it was off temporarily. Then it came back again. So, but to be candid, I'm not worried.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll fix it somehow. Either we start a new one or we add it to already existing channel. We will be fine, Matthew.
yeah,
Don't worry.
yeah.
We'll be
So
fine.
I have to say to you that I'm you're a little bit of an atheist. That's why you could write a 400-page book based on atheist questions, because you've got so many questions, and I really love people with questions. Matthew hasn't got a lot of questions, and he's different to you in that way. He Matthew's got like childlike faith. He just believes in scripture verses, and he just believes with his intuition. He just has faith. And even today with the YouTube, he kept on checking back if it had come online like it did last time after a couple of hours. It didn't come online, and he hasn't been taken away with anxiety. He knew that it's just, you know, it really is the enemy's sort of swipe at your YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and so he has faith that you're doing the right thing, because it was a new sound coming from heaven. There was a new message coming forth, and it was a good message. And I really want to. Perhaps you can play this video to yourself again, or perhaps you'll hear enough in what I say. But I speak for a lot of people. Cynthia's just given a vote, and I asked her in the spirit to do a vote, and she just did a vote that 98% of the people listening in heaven dearly love you and
No.
dearly respect your questions, and some of them even speak out to the Holy Spirit or speak out to God about questions they want to ask the particular saint that you're interviewing. And
Wow.
many of them, Cynthia just did another vote, and 70% of them report that they've put forward a question to the Holy Spirit while you've been doing an interview, and you've asked the question.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
so it's perhaps when they're putting it through to the Holy Spirit, perhaps it's Bethany or June that catches the question, or Diana that catches the question and puts that
Wow.
into your mind. So you ask the question. So you didn't know that until now. You didn't
Oh,
know that
no.
you're asking questions that the people actually want to hear. But you're
Wow.
such a open source feed, like heaven just feeds into your head, and you don't particularly need to know who's giving you the thought. You just speak it forth. Oftentimes, Matthew wants to say something, and you say it already, and so I
Wow.
dearly love you. Matthew's fun to
Thank
listen
you.
to, and the saints are fun to listen to, and God is fun, and we think 95% of the people think it's particularly funny when Matthew passes his message on through a saint and tries to slide them in there. There's a lot of us in the audience that have got discernment and can tell it was Matthew speaking and not the saint. And we're totally reassured when you jump on him and allow that. Sometimes when he's manic and he speaks for long-winded answers and he doesn't really answer the question and he weaves and he goes off track, we really enjoy you listening for half an hour and then say enough, and you pull him back, and uh, you know you're like he's like a car that just runs, and but you slide the gears, you change the gears and you control things and stuff, and you put your foot on the brake and put your foot on the accelerator and all sorts of things. So many times we've noticed Matthew wanted to shut it down, and you've said just another half an hour, and the revelation has come through 5 minutes later, and the other time, Matthew was proud that you were going to shut it down or something. Matthew went further, and there was a revelation there too. So
Yeah, that was where the fiction book came from. It was on a Monday. Yeah. And I was thinking, I've got to go now. I said, well, shall we shut it down? And then his Marty said, oh, that's it. I'm like, okay, so do you still want us to speak? I said, yeah. Then I went to my dad, and my dad mentioned you could consider writing fiction books as well. So yeah, I'm glad Matthew extended it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we really love everything you do, and I I'm one of your fans, and I'm always listening. And remember Matthew said it a couple of times. The only reason he keeps going is to give you resource and to fill you up and give you daily manna. He also does it for his own resource. If he went if he went for a few days without doing this, he'd be thirsty. And
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
I love hearing you. I really love hearing your questions. I love to see interject the people of heaven, especially the people of heaven, really love hearing your stories. Really love you talking, and we really tune in when you have commentary and things to say, not just your answers. And your questions reveal things about yourself, and we see parts of yourself that you want to actually know certain things, and it's important to you, and that reveals the sort of depth that you have. You ask some questions that Matthew would never ask, but Matthew's pretty hopeless. He can't really ask questions. You couldn't role reverse. Even you say that you can't bring the voices of the saints, even if Matthew taught you to and gave you the confidence. He couldn't be the one asking questions. He'd just have hopeless questions. You go back and read Matthew's books with interviews with saints, and you'll find his questions are pretty basic. And Bethany used to give them to him, but you know, Bethany was good to him, and he wrote to a certain stage. But what he's got to get to used to is that in every facet, in the writing, in writing songs, in writing books, you're just at another level.
Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. Wow, that's such a beautiful feedback. I really appreciate that. Because sometimes we just keep, myself and Matthew, we keep walking here, but we don't know the impact we're having. So it's like we're walking blindly. So in a way, I feel for the couple that I do know in my children's school. They've got twins and they've got three children. Their oldest is blind because they are both blind, husband and wife, and they've got these beautiful twins who are really, really exceptional, but they can't see them. They just relate to them through their voice. So that's how I see this assignment as well. It's the assignment of not seeing but believing that he exists, believing that you've got the audience on earth, believing that you've got the audience in heaven. So looking at their life practically, I could see how they're living by faith every day and understanding that that's my daughter, that's my son, because it's a boy and a girl, the twins. So I just admire the woman because she's in everything in school, on Facebook, on WhatsApp. And I wonder, how does she operate all of these tools? But she still keeps going on. So I guess sometimes when you look at myself and Matthew's life as well, it is easy to walk out because you just be thinking, maybe I'm even crazy in delusion. Maybe there's no audience anywhere. But if when I remember all the confirmations I hear from Gabriel, I know that yes, it really exists. If Matthew has told me about his dream, I could have just asked Gabriel to interpret it for you because Gabriel is a dream interpreter as well.
Oh,
So maybe,
got that
so
gift
maybe,
in the future.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
in the future, anytime I've got a dream that I need to ask, I just go to Gabriel and he will explain to me. But a lot of times as well, I know the meaning of my dreams. So, but yes, Gabriel is very good at that. Yeah, so thank you, Jonathan. It's really been useful. For Jonathan, it's been a while we've properly spoke. Between then and now, what has really happened in your journey with God?
God's God promoted me to work with the atheists in heaven
Wow,
and
wow.
help teach them and disciple them. And I've been allotted to work with Charlie Kirk and
Oh,
put together a syllabus and training for atheists and
it is.
certain interviews. And we've got AI that can strip all the interviews and all the interviews I've done and a thousand
Wow,
other atheists have done can be stripped out by keywords and organized. And we're putting together like 2 year and 3 year and 4 year college and university courses on knowing God and being intimate with God and walking in his footsteps.
wow,
And
wow,
so it's a university course, but it sort of does have mentors and people that work with you. And it's full of questions and full of practical steps and assignments and stuff. It's a fully fledged university course. There's no
wow.
way that you can get your certification unless you really are walking with God and you've been promoted by God and you're really walking in your destiny. So
Wow.
Charlie has just got so much work. He's just got such a team of people that work with him. And, you know, to think that all he was responsible for was getting American presidents elected, he's got
Mm.
so much more potential up here. And he's just a beautiful person, a giving person, a loving person, and he's great to work with. So I've been doing that, and yeah, and we all of us who do interviews get questions for our interviews off this podcast. It's like
Wow.
you're the forerunner, and we sort of go to our interviews over the 3 weeks in between these messages, and we break apart the things that have been said, and we ask questions about it. So your question is breaks the ground like a ice breaking ship, and,
Wow.
and then all the other ships come in behind you and sail in the passageway that your ship has made, and so you. I cannot fathom and you cannot hear the things that God has prepared for those who love Him. Is a
Mm.
verse in the Scripture that you're aware that you're God's bride and that you're His wife, and you get a lot of feedback from Matthew and the saints and Ben and Gabriel. You get a lot of feedback. Even that warlock said that you're a divinity or whatever. What did he say you were?
Deity, something
Yeah,
like that.
your deity, right? So
Mm.
so you get quite a bit of feedback, but you really won't come to grips with who you really are until you're in heaven. Yeah, you. It's true. Ben told you, or someone told you. Matthew remembers it being said that whenever you go out to restaurants and cafes in heaven, people are always stopping to get selfies, and sometimes you talk to them for a couple of minutes, sometimes for 5 minutes, sometimes for an hour and a half. And Ben is always there listening and contributing to the conversation and asking questions. And you basically go out with Ben and disciple people every time you go out.
Wow.
None of those people are led there by their own choice. They're all
Mm.
led by the Holy Spirit. So, you know,
Wow.
Matthew explained it. He remembers explaining it lately, where the person just decides that they're going to go and get Mexican, they're going to get
Mm.
tacos, and they go to their favorite taco place, and here you are, Ben, having tacos and sitting there, and they walk in and they can't help themselves. So people, it's different in heaven. It's like it's better, but it's also a lot worse than earth. People
Wow.
people are truly hungry, have been told
Mm.
in public. You've told the whole of heaven. It's come over the airways in heaven where they play the music that if you see Tolu and Ben, everyone's welcome to approach them, and
Wow.
the people know, and people get
Wow.
interviewed by a certain person. I'm not mentioning who it is, not because you don't need to know, you just don't need to know, but there's a certain person that runs a podcast and just interviews people who have met you and Ben, and they share their encounter. So
Wow.
that's a popular show on TV. People just tune in and listen to that, and everyone in heaven, every hungry person in heaven, it's their greatest desire to meet you out in cafes and stuff. And people are hitting cafes and restaurants every night and every lunchtime when they know you're in heaven. Like it gets announced that you're in heaven as soon as you get there, and
Wow.
people start going out and hoping that they'll meet. And uh, they're told on the airways here that if you meet Ben and Tolu, just uh, contact us here, and we'll interview you. And people like to share interviews, and there's the same thing happens to Matthew and his wives too, and
Wow.
people with authority in heaven have that. And there's a certain interviewer that interviews people about meeting Matthew and one of his wives, and of course, it's in your nature because you just love people and you're so into people that that's just one of your ministries. And people ask you in-depth questions about your book or one of your books or one of your teachings or something you've said in an interview. And of course, you're telling the truth all the time. So you just recall your memory and share the truth. And sometimes you don't know what you wrote in a book, and they'll read it to you, and you'll explain it, and so it's really good. You've got this stellar reputation in heaven, and
Wow.
God really
Wow.
trusts your discernment. If Matthew was out of line with those 70% of people leaving heaven, you would have corrected it and stepped in. But as it was, you had a doubt about that the next day, and then Matthew reminded you that something come on you, and it wasn't you that spoke. Uh,
Absolutely.
so we really trust your discernment. We really love what you do. We love everything about you, and I think I speak for everyone that you really hold people's fascination. We especially love your father series, and we look forward to going on to other books, and slowly
Yeah.
we'll seem to read all your books.
Wow, Jonathan, my heart is filled with joy and love. Thank you so much. I'm naturally a people person, even though I don't make friends on earth. I love people. And when I'm around people, I come alive. My father was the same, so I must have gotten that from my father. He loves having people making like he's always the center of the conversation. He likes to make fun. People laugh. But when he gets home, when I was growing up, it was very strict. I'm like, you make people outside smile, then you come home, you're very strict. So I love that same thing that like just to make people smile. But I just don't have the time on heart to do it, to do that. So I'm glad that part of me is able to come out in heaven. And that's such a lengthy feedback, Jonathan, for me. I really, really appreciate it. I'm sure me and Matthew appreciate to hear those things because we don't know what we're doing in heaven. Just like a song I've just written yesterday for my husband. Like, I don't know what is happening, but let's say I visit you. I just believe. I just believe everything. And I believe everything that you said here as well, Jonathan. Thank you so much. I know at the beginning you did say you were so perplexed about who God really was, and does this God actually exist or he does not exist? And you had so many questions that you needed answers to. Will you say, after having all of those thousands of conversations with God now, can you say you understand him now?
You get to know God more with each conversation.
Absolutely.
He's like plunging deeper and deeper into the ocean.
I agree.
There's more and more
I agree.
depth to him, but another way of
Absolutely.
answering is I know him a lot better than most people.
That's really good. That's it. Because
So,
I know that even
so I could easily, like you just wrote a book of God answering atheist questions, I could easily write that book on God's perspective on his behalf and answer any question.
absolutely, absolutely. Wow. Yeah, I totally get it. You can never fully understand God, but you continue to understand him as you go. But that clarity, you have that clarity now. Do you still ponder why was he hidden? Why was he not known? Why you and a half?
To be hidden is power.
Hmm.
Yeah. The true Matthew doesn't understand much about darkness, but the true Illuminati, the true powerful
People that
people
got
in the
wow,
Illuminati, no one knows their names.
wow,
They're hidden.
wow, wow,
Unless George Soros and you know Obama and Oprah Winfrey, the less powerful Illuminati are out in front and people know their names, but but the
wow.
powerful ones are hidden.
Hmm. So you can connect where God is coming from.
Yeah, yeah. I understand why it has to be that way. His son paid a price. Matthew was led to listen to this thing on End Times yesterday, he's read John Bevere. He's read books from John Bevere, but he, he doesn't think John Bevere seems to know too much. But he liked a book or two he read from him, so he listened, and he didn't really know why he's listening because it's end times again. But then John Bevere went to the fact that there was about 10 men that started flogging Jesus, like beating him up, and they're just hitting him and
Wow.
hitting him and hitting him and hitting him and hitting him, and they beat him.
Wow.
And he said in Isaiah 53, it said that Jesus was marred, he was beaten so much that he couldn't be recognized as a human.
Wow.
That's
Wow. Wow.
what these guys did when they beat him. And Matthew's never heard that. He just knew that was in Isaiah 53. Like that shroud of Turin that they say is the face of Jesus on cloth. That's
Yeah.
that's not real. That's not the real Jesus, because Jesus was so disfigured he didn't look like a human. And then they took to him with whips, and they had a left-handed whipper and a right-handed whipper, and they both went one after another, and it wasn't 39 lashes. That was a Jewish rule. It was Roman rule. They didn't stop until bone was coming out of the back, and they just. Him so much. Matthew saw his back one day in a vision, and you could see the organs. It was horrific, and so it was good to finally hear it after 51 years of being a Christian. What really happened to him? Well, God did that to his son. He already paid the price. He doesn't have to come forward and be everyone's buddy. If
Absolutely.
if you can't be precious, if you can't be a loyal friend to his son, you can't be his friend. And his son is his most precious possession. So if you qualify it that way, very few people qualify to be God's friend.
Wow.
And that's what's caused the disturbance, even though you'll solve the disturbance and you'll get a new website just for your music. That's what's caused the disturbance, because you're you're developing intimacy for Jesus and God, and Satan hates that message.
Wow.
Satan doesn't. Yeah, Matthew talked to Megan, and Megan said she had a friend that was doing YouTube uh, 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 videos, YouTube songs about deep intimacy with Jesus, and she was taken offline, and she had to go on Rumble and use other platforms for a while until she finally felt led to come back to YouTube. But YouTube took her account offline because she was talking about deep intimacy with Jesus.
Wow. Man.
So that's like the theme coming through on your YouTube. It's getting deeper and deeper with Jesus, and so yeah, Jesus, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. And just like that
Absolutely.
analogy Matthew used before, that the son of the billionaire, you have to
Yeah.
prove yourself, and then finally, when you've proven yourself to the son, you meet the Father. Um,
Absolutely.
but you don't meet the Father unless you've proved yourself to the Son. And the Son Jesus just doesn't meet many people qualified to know his Father.
Wow. And you just wonder that why are people not curious? Why don't they not want to know this God that's given them all these provisions that's been made available for them? Do you wonder that why they
I
not why
don't.
don't they
That's how religion preaches it. That
wow.
God's just given you a buffet, so go and eat.
Mm, I love that. God has just given you a buffet. Go and eat. Eat as much as you can. Do you used to go to those kind of restaurants where
Yeah.
you and then you go in and then I tried it a few times, me and Ben thought it was not worth it taking you to eat as you can, Tolu, because I eat very little, so it doesn't make any sense. It's like wasting money. So, but you've got people that will be in there. I've been there, and they'll keep going, keep going, keep going, and I'm wondering why are they eating all this food? Aren't they full enough? So that's what a lot of us are greedy. We just want to have
Yeah.
everything on God's table, but we don't want to
Know the
know.
Son. We don't want to know the Son or the Father. And uh,
Wow.
the trouble is you haven't got a big platform or you've got the people listening by what do you call it?
Telepathically.
Yeah, you
Telepathically.
got a big audience listening there, but you haven't got an audience that can rebuke the pastors and teach the pastors and train the
No.
pastors and turn the pastors around. But the people of God are taught to be religious, that they've just got to pray their
Mm.
prayers, read their Bible, do a devotion, come to church, and no one really talks about true intimacy, like
Wow.
and what it's like to walk and be one with God and in true intimacy. And because pastors don't experience it, because people don't preach it, people just fill themselves up with the smorgasbord of religion.
Wow.
That's why they can't stop going to conferences because they're hungry all the time.
My God. And they try to go to conferences to get what they're looking for.
Yeah. And there's big money made out of them. They buy their $100 ticket and they go to 5 sessions and they try and take it in. And because they can't take it in, they buy the CD set and replay it again and listen to it again. And uh,
Hmm.
the people doing the conferences are just bringing around moldy bread for everyone.
Absolutely. Wow. And
There's that
people are
scripture in the
wow.
Bible that says, in the last days there'll be a famine for the word of God, and there is a famine. People are starving,
Wow.
and people like Jonathan's Megan. She's just so hungry.
Hmm.
She shared about 6 of our songs, on her Facebook group. She just keeps on sharing. She listens to a song and shares it. She's just like Matthew. You get something good and hope that another person
Maybe
listens to
share
it.
it. Yeah. Wow. That is so interesting. Do you get people that have got that mindset as well in the atheist world?
Atheists like to read, they like to ask questions, they like to research, they like their intellect, they're really proud of their intellect, they're really proud of what they know, they're proud of quoting books they've read, they like to cite sources, and they like to have like 2 or 3 books to back up what they're saying. They like to, they don't just come out with empty arguments. They come out with arguments of trusted
Wow.
and known scientists and trusted and known voices in the civilization. They just don't quote Bible. They quote renowned speakers and renowned writers and respected thought leaders, and they have a collection of that. They do a lot of background. So nearly every atheist would love to meet God and love to sit
Hmm.
down with God and ask him questions. And that's why Matthew thinks he'll be able to read this book of yours. But we'll certainly read it in heaven. And yeah, Matthew showed his carer. She announces herself as an atheist. She showed her
Wow.
the cover of your book today, and she liked the cover, and she said it'd
Oh,
be an interesting book.
wow. God and the atheist. That is so interesting. Man, the way heaven works. Sometimes I'm amazed.
It works for people who are hungry and got childlike faith and aren't stubborn and aren't religious and aren't proud and aren't ruled by their flesh. If you're ruled by
Wow.
your flesh and you're stubborn and you're proud, you could spend a lifetime in heaven and never learn anything.
Hmm.
But thankfully, all those people are gone. Only, everyone in heaven, since you threw everyone out of heaven, everyone in heaven has gone to the school of the hunger.
To get that hunger, that desire for it, for
They're
him.
all hungry.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
And Charlie Kirk has developed like a stage 2. And if you pass the exams in stage 1, you can go to stage 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Being hungry is like a
It's a gift.
grace.
It's a gift.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My God. It makes so much sense. Because when you have it, you wonder why people don't have it.
Yeah. It's
You wonder,
because if you can excuse Matthew's intellect, I think it's the people who lost their first love.
mm, is that what Matthew thinks? They lost their
That's
first.
Matthew's intellect saying when Jesus said, "Go and find your first love," in Revelation. I think to get your hunger back, you need to restore your first love.
Hmm.
Because
It's
when
interesting.
you've got your first love, hunger, you're hungry.
And do you know that first love, people will understand it differently. They will think their first love is being in religion,
Yeah,
doing all these activities. They're showing their love to God. They're expressing their love to God through their activities, through
yeah,
all the do's and the don'ts that they've got to do. And when you look at it, you don't even possess love. So what first love are you panting after if
perhaps
you
you
don't
need
possess love?
a song or two on it, returning to your first love.
Well, Matthew, you can figure that out. I'm trying not to be too religious. Return to your first love. Well, that would be a message to the Christians, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because Jonathan, if you see a music that return to your first love, would that make any sense to you?
no,
And that is the challenge that I saw that, Matthew. It's like maybe we have to have two channels. Like I can't just manage two channels. That's the problem. Like your friend, what's Megan's husband,
Megan.
where he's got one that is outward focusing on Christians, and then this one is focusing on other people. Oh, I guess it will come to a time that people will understand God as well, and they will start understanding that
Yeah,
terminology better.
yeah,
Because I'm sure atheists don't understand what is grace. What is grace? We use a lot of words that we assume
yeah.
that people know. So to be candid, I'm really very sorry to the audience of heaven that for so long I just hammer on Christians because that is the only thing I knew, and that was the only thing I thought would get you to heaven. And when you look at it, because God and Jesus was only really, really mentioned in the Bible as our source, as our God, in a way you just assume everybody needs to come under that same umbrella of Christianity in order to be able to know God. But that's not true, isn't it, Jonathan?
No, it's not true. It's good to know God and get to know God, but you don't have to know a lot of the Bible to know God.
Well, I'm an example. I don't like memorizing Bible. No. I've got a good memory. I can't just be bothered with it.
Yeah.
So in a way, maybe that helped as well. I don't have too much.
You can have you can have two playlists for uh, people who don't know God and playlists for people who do know God, and separate your songs on your playlists.
Oh, I got you. In the same channel, but having to, of course, yes, for the 80s, I'm going to have like a different playlist for that. And like, just like for the, the parable that I started,
Yeah.
it's going to be, so whenever I think I can put things into playlists, I will put them into playlists. Yeah. Wow. Man, God is
Do you feel
sometimes,
do you feel like you've known me forever?
yeah. Do I speak to you a lot in heaven?
Yeah.
Wow. So your spirit just connects naturally, isn't it?
All the people that have come forward in these interviews, you know all of us.
Wow. 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 Wow.
So Tiffany and Victoria and Corinne and Rachel and Patricia uh, and
Infinite.
Infinite and Ruth, they're really dear friends to you and Bethany.
Wow. Man, do you wonder how God does this and me and Matthew were clueless? It's miracle, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, not everyone on earth goes to heaven at night.
I guess not everyone has God taken everything they cherish and then say, you've got no choice. You just have to run after me now. It stripped us, Jonathan, of everything that is dear to us. So we've got no choice. Will you be doing this, Jonathan, if you're not? Will you do what me and Matthew are doing?
I'd like to be your friend, so I'm not sure I'd do it.
Oh, what?
I'd like be like Megan and Jonathan, support you from the side. When Megan was saying you could like post your videos on Rumble if YouTube won't let you back, and I said, Matthew said, it's got to be YouTube because
Absolutely. So be
Rumble
you too.
hasn't got traction. And she said, but you could also post them on Rumble. I said, Tolu hasn't got the time to do that. And
Too
she
much.
said, I could do it for you. And I said, I don't think she'd even be interested in that. I think she'd just be interested in just having one channel.
That's it. That's it. If God wants anybody to know, God will bring them there. That's my principle, Jonathan. I didn't know Matthew, but God knew I needed to connect to him for this ministry to happen. Did he not make it happen? He made it happen. He made the connection. So I don't have the energy to be on TikTok, to be on Playlist, to be on, especially the people that you're trying to do all this for. They can't be bothered.
Matthew
It's like,
uploaded 4 of his songs to TikTok and no one's watched them. So it's just God's way of saying, no, no, no.
I love that. I so much love that. Jonathan, one thing about me is I try to use my energy efficiently. So things that will not bring any positivity, I don't need to waste my time doing. Just like trying to promote my books, for instance. God did not give me that task. He didn't give me that assignment to do. The few people that he wants to know the book, they will come. And you want them to grow, you want them to have a good understanding of God, but a lot of people will not have good understanding until they get to heaven. That's it. It is sad, but that's the case. That's the case because they've been fed with so much of junks that is quite difficult to deconstruct. I know how long it took God to deconstruct me, and I'm still deconstructing. It is a lot of work. One video will not do it. You have to put your mind into it. Like people like Ron, that's made it a duty to watch all these videos all the time. But when you look at Ron was not, I'm not sure he's a practicing Christian. So he was, and it's someone
He's
that's
just a
always,
spiritual person, just a spiritual
yeah,
person. He's
yeah,
read
and curious.
thousands of books. He says our books
Yeah.
are the best he's ever read.
So it's just curious. So we need those kind of people. But how many do we have in our audience?
4.
And that's
You've only got 4 people listening on your YouTube videos, but you've got millions of people in heaven that are really keen.
and
And
that's
and
that's
and your YouTube channel on heaven of these interviews, the channel that this is on, has got tens of thousands of comments.
wow.
There's
Wow.
actually admins that spend all their days answering all the questions, that they're
Wow.
trained by Charlie Kirk how to answer the questions, and he's got a whole team of people that work on answering questions.
Wow. I just love Charlie, don't you?
Yeah, Charlie's great. You need to get him back and have a talk to
Yeah,
him.
I will. I will now that you mentioned him again because he's always in the background working. And I've got so much love and respect for him to the extent that I cannot even watch any podcast that says anything wrong about his wife or about himself. Because when I know someone, I don't allow any other negativity to
Charlie,
put.
Charlie used to have grief that he was taken.
Oh,
He's got no grief anymore now. He's just
it,
so happy that he's where he
oh,
is. He's so
I
happy.
think, oh,
He's
it
so
does
he's
happen.
so far more advanced than Ben. Ben Ben still is sad about being taken, and because he's
Oh,
sad,
yeah,
you miss him so much. And
yeah,
and but
yeah,
heaven for Ben has been really hard. But heaven for Charlie's just the answers, coming up with answers and solutions.
yeah. I know
Char-
because
Charlie Charlie's got a team of 10 prophets that advise him and direct him.
yeah, how did Charlie get? I don't know. Maybe I was able to overcome losing his wife so quickly. Yeah, me and Ben has got a different story, I guess. Because we
Do,
were
do,
just,
do you know how witches have like a cord? When they astral
yeah,
travel, there's a cord.
yeah,
There's still
yeah.
a cord between you and Ben.
Oh,
Hasn't been broken.
and a lady prophesied that maybe a few months after Ben passed on. So you confirm it again.
Yeah, Matthew
Yeah,
never knows. Matthew just saw it, and yeah, it'll never be broken.
thank you. Yeah, so I know it's art for Ben, it's art for me as well. We go both, and maybe because Ben sees me a lot as well doing all of those things, I'm always because out of mind
Yeah,
is out of sight is out of mind.
yeah,
But Ben is always seeing me, so that doesn't help, isn't it?
yeah. You know that Elvis song. You're always on my mind.
Yeah,
You're always on my mind.
yeah, I really miss him. I
And
do.
that propelled you. Death didn't stop you. Death propelled you.
Because I'm thinking if God has taken my husband, it doesn't need to take another person for me to get the message. I've got to do this. I've got no choice. And I've got to go all in. I can't be one leg in, one leg out. You have to get the message. And I got the message straight away. So, and I'm not going to waste the remaining years. I just cannot sit down and be languishing in what I lost. I need to focus on what I'm gaining.
Yeah.
So I know I'm going to see my husband again one day. and there will no longer be separation any longer. But for now, the job has to be done.
Yeah.
Wow. I've enjoyed speaking with you, Jonathan. I'm tempted to bring you again. Wow.
We didn't really
Man,
cover a lot today. You didn't really ask me many questions. Most of it has
I
been
love
me
this.
giving you feedback.
And having conversation. I love this as well. I do this with God sometimes. It's just good sometimes just to have these conversations. It's not every time it has to be question, 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 because so many insights were coming out of your conversations as well. So for anyone that can extract information out of anything, will, because the way my brain works now is always sourcing for information. I went to London 2 days ago with my colleagues, and there was a training, and I thought the training was going to be related to my work. But when I got there, the training was just how to build team, how to work as a team, how to flourish, on all of those kind of team building ideas. And the guy that run the training after said, okay, who can tell us what they've learned? And I could not keep my mouth shut up. I just keep giving people insights. And we didn't see that. I'm like, this work that I do with God has made my brain so alert. It's like information is always being downloaded easily. I could see a lot of things from what the guy was trying to communicate with that exercise, and how that could be taken back to your workplace. But a lot of people could not see what I was saying. I was like, no, I don't blame you. My brain is used every day, so it's well oiled. So it thinks really fast. It's not sluggish.
Was the trainer really happy with you that you gave that
Yeah,
feedback?
yeah, yeah. He just kept looking at me. Even the moment I entered, it was so happy. It was like he's waiting. He said, Tolu, how are you? How long have you take you to get there? I said, 5 hours plus. He said, wow, you came all the way just for 2 hours, meeting for 5 hours. So it got so much interesting. And the taxi guy that took me from the train station just keeps saying, thank you, darling. Thank you. I'm like, this is Ben. This is not the taxi man. Like,
Glory. It's the glory on you.
oh my God.
Yeah, because you're manifesting that song, that the shining ones.
Wow.
You've got so much glory on you. Everyone that meets you wants to talk to you and be happy around you.
Wow. Maybe that was what was happening, because I'm thinking, this taxi man, enough. All right, my love. All right. I'm like, seriously? It's too much. Yeah, but maybe you're right. Maybe it's the glory. It's the glory. Wow. But that journey for me brought out this book. So I'm glad, even though I didn't spend so much time where I've gone, but it was like a turning point for me, just like
Yeah.
Charlie's Kirk's, what do you call it? Turning point. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a turning point for me. Wow, Jonathan, I love speaking with you. Thank you so much for giving me your time. Wow. Matthew, does anyone got a question for Jonathan?
Uh, uh, Billie Eilish has got a question for Jonathan. She says, how do you how do you travel in heaven as a person who was an atheist for a long time? How did you align yourself to come under God's house and live, like if you're not living as a Christian? How do you
Wow.
live your life in heaven? Someone who believes in God but doesn't say all the Christian things.
Absolutely.
I I'm just myself, darling. I'm just who I am, and I just talk to people and treat people with love and respect. And it's custom in
Wow.
heaven to ask a person what mountain they're from. Well, now we're all in the Liberation Mountain, so
Wow.
you can
Wow.
ask a person in the Liberation Mountain what mountain were you part of, and they'll say the Buddhist mountain or the Hindu mountain. And that just is a sign for you to start speaking in Buddhist or Hindu sort of language. So, uh, as uh, as an atheist, I studied all the faiths and I looked into a lot of the faiths. And the one thing I liked about people is if they were genuine and faithful to their faith. if they were faithful and they had integrity and followed their faith, they were good with me. And so I've adjusted to heaven. I really love God. I've got responsibility. I've been promoted in heaven. I've got jobs to do, and I'm very happy. And you really just got to be moving. You really got to be happy. And Billy, you've got potential in you to lead. You've got potential in you to prophesy. You've got potential to be a prophet. You
Wow.
can direct people with your lyrics and with your words, and you can speak into an existence a new world, and you can create things. You've got so much potential in you, Billy, and it's good to talk to you, one of Matthew's friends.
Wow. That's a good question, though. Yeah, because I do wonder as well that how do people flourish under God if they don't understand all this terminology we use like grace, mercy? We've got our own specific words that we use, but it's good to know that. Maybe do you think a new selections of words needs to be created for this one unified religion? I don't want to use the word religion, but you know what I mean. Bringing people under one umbrella to know God. Do we need to create set of new terminologies of how you converse with God? Because for instance, we call God different names: Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Shalom, Jehovah Nissi, Jehovah Elohim. Like all of those things, are they still relevant?
They're probably relevant to the people who've heard them, but
That know them.
if you
Okay.
want to call God the source or the universe or something like that,
But still
it's still understood by most people like the universe or the source.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would
Thank
be a
you.
good conversation for you to have with Megan's husband, Jonathan, because he's thinking of starting like a fellowship for people of all faiths. And that'd be a concept he'd be thinking about the words to use when he shares our message.
Well, you are his friend, Matthew. I don't have time for having conversations. You can hold that at least add that to your own to-do list. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Why are you smiling, Matthew?
Lynn wants to ask a question.
Okay.
She says she's a former escort and now on a lot lower income, and she's been convicted whilst she's been listening to this message, and she's just working as a secretary now
Okay.
on a low income. She says, "What makes you keep?" It's not for Jonathan; it's for you, Tolu. What
Oh,
what makes you keep on turning up when there hasn't been an income from this? Why do you devote so many hours to your books and your videos and to talking to Matthew? Is it just your love for God?
oh yes. I've always been a lover of God, even when I was religious. Like when I got saved, I was telling a sister then that was like a mentor to me. She was quite advanced in the prophetic ministry. So I attached myself to her because I knew she was so mature. So she used to teach me a lot of things. I was so hungry to the extent that the iron station I did go to in Nigeria because I got born again when I was about to start my iron station education. I'm doing the same thing I'm doing now. I could care less about the course. All I care about praying, worshiping God, praying, worshiping God, pray. That's all I did for the 3 years I spent and I was just like, God, I'll only give my books very little hours. I will pray overnight. Then I will sleep when people are receiving lecture. Who does that? They sent you to go and study. I was just following God. I was so crazy about God. So there was these two sisters will come together and say, we need to pray every 3 hours. We need to pray. Yes, and I used to do evangelism, morning cry. When I get in a vehicle, I want to preach God. I carried him everywhere. So when I got to this country, that really it was quite subdued by activities, by having to go to it to do things. I was trying to learn a new way of doing things in a new country I wasn't born to. So that impacted me a little bit. But the moment me and Ben got married again, we started doing it again. Ben has got that hunger as well. So it's good when you're married to someone that's got that hunger. So that hunger is in me naturally. This is what gives me joy. That's just it. It gives me more joy than the joy that my children will give me. And that's the truth. I love my children, but this gives me so much joy. Walking in the kingdom of God, expressing my love to God, my appreciations to Him. Yeah, so because of that, I can never, never, never get tired of doing this. And I don't need no one to compensate me for it. I don't need money. God is taking care of me. So that's enough for me, because I'm not doing it for that purpose. I'm doing it because I love Him.
Yeah. Uh, it's hard for me to ask, but I want to ask this question because I'm developing this hunger that you've got. Um, do you think I could speak to you one to one in your mind? And do you think you could give me a few minutes to ask you a couple of questions that I don't want to go public with everyone, but like you can speak to Ben and God, do you think I could take 15 minutes of your time to ask you a couple of questions?
What's your name?
Lynn.
Lynn. Lynn, I will have to do this specifically because I'm very lazy at telepathic speaking. But I've written your name down and I'll contact you in the spirit, Lynn.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. I won't take you more than 15 of your minutes, but it's something personal that I don't want to say on the broadcast.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lynn. Wow. How many minutes I've got to go? I'm over time already. But let me quickly say hello to Papa and Ben. Hello, Ben. How are you?
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm good. How are you as well?
Yeah, good. And are you? Is your book going to be ready tomorrow?
I think I'm hoping today I'll message Max to see where he is. Are you looking forward to the book?
Yeah, I am really looking forward to it. All the atheists in heaven and a lot of the religious people in heaven are looking forward to this book.
I hope I don't disappoint them.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to a couple of atheist songs if you can do them overnight.
Is that Matthew speaking of Ben?
Both of us. I know you've got a lineup of personal songs too. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a lineup of personal songs which I wanted to do, but I've done for yourself, for Papa Manuel and Jesus yesterday. So yeah, but we'll get to the 80s. We will get there. Don't worry. I'll do it.
yeah, I love you, dear.
I love you too. You're still missing me, Ben. You see me.
I miss you when you're not here in heaven.
Oh, you still
We
struggle with that, Ben.
we give big hugs and most times we're just both crying as we say goodbye.
Oh,
It's such a hard cost, such a hard price we had to pay.
this. Do you know why we had to pay this price?
Time is short. You're the last message. You're
Not
one of the
writing.
workers. The harvest is ripe, and you're one of the workers that needed to go out and get the people on the highways and the byways.
Do you wish it wasn't us that was chosen for this?
Yeah, but I realised that Jesus would have had the same thoughts since he was a boy, and he read that his back was going to be ploughed like a field. You know, he read that in scripture, and he sort of wished it wasn't him.
I don't know that you still really miss me, Ben. I thought you got upper advantage over me.
There's no upper hand with love, and God didn't break the cord. You'll always love me, and you'll come to love me more and more as the years progress. And it gives you your zeal.
Yeah. Gives me the zeal.
You don't want to waste any word that you say or sing.
Yeah. Wow. So you do you like the music I wrote for you?
Yeah, I did. I look forward to, maybe that can be a a new thing that you do for pleasure once a week. Write me, God, Jesus, and Emmanuel a song.
That's the intention.
Have them on a playlist.
Yeah, that's the
Songs for my
intention.
husband, songs for my son, songs for God, songs for Jesus.
Jesus needs song from me.
What's that?
I said Jesus needs songs from me.
Of course, you're his dear friend.
Thank you,
You knew
darling.
each other really well before you left the earth. You're one of his most decorated angels. You're one of the only angels that could beat Bethany in the weekly competitions.
Wow. Wow.
Matthew and you used to beat Bethany the most.
Wow. So we
Bethany had to stay back to, someone had to be a person like conducting. You were individual instruments that came to earth, but Bethany stayed as the conductor.
wow. Wow. Wow.
Otherwise,
Wow.
if
Wow.
she had her way, she would have known Matthew in the flesh.
Oh, I got you. But why was their journey different from ours? They could have known each other in the flesh as well, don't you think? Or Bethany had a
She
better
had,
role to play.
she had to be the conductor.
Wow. From afar.
Yeah,
Wow. Oh, this is hard, isn't it, Ben? What you're doing is hard.
yeah. But it's a joy. There's a joy in the journey.
Are you able to continue going?
By achieving things.
Oh,
Michael's just repurposed all of your songs, added verses to them, added lines to the chorus, added music,
yeah, yeah. He
just
can do what?
stripped them apart and used them,
Yeah,
banded
yeah,
them.
yeah. He
And
can use them.
Matthew heard this a couple of minutes ago, but I'm saying it here. Your message is the new wine that Jesus talked about.
Wow.
And these messages have been building the new wineskin.
Wow.
So it's really only heaven and the telepathic audience on earth that have got the new wineskin.
Mm. Wow. That is interesting, isn't it, Ben? Do you think you will ever get over missing me?
No. Just said
Wow.
Matthew will never be rich.
Wow. I'm sorry, darling. I love you, you know that. And keep sharing me up. Okay? In the end, we're all going to rejoice, isn't it? He who that laughs last,
Loves.
laughs best. So thank you, darling. How are you, Papa?
Yeah, I'm good.
Doing well?
Yeah, I'm always doing well.
No, you're not always doing well.
I'm Matthew's tired.
I know, but you keep going. Oh, you're
If
not
you
always
do
doing well.
if you do one song tonight,
Yeah,
do the Corinne song or the Witches song for Matthew.
Matthew, thank you for passing your information across from
God, yeah. That's
yeah, yeah, Matthew. I've got these personal videos I need to do, and I need to do them all.
okay.
Yeah. So you wait just 2 days, yesterday and today. I'm going to do quarantine today. Yeah. Thank you, Papa. I
I
love
love
you.
you, Tolu. Work with me and hold my hand and work all the way until the last person is crying.
Oh, thank you, Papa. I will. Love you.
Love you too.
Emmanuel, are you okay?
Hey, Mum, you want a
Just,
secret?
yeah, tell me.
Yeah. Dad already told you that you're bringing forth the new wine.
Is that the secret you had for me?
And Matthew heard prophets say that certain musicians are going to bring forth a new sound, and they may have brought forth a new sound, but you're bringing forth the new sound, and Satan is very
Wow.
angry
Wow. So
and
our YouTube channel is
and threatened by it.
wow. So what shall we do? We still need to create music, isn't it? Wow. Thank you, Manu. I love you. Daddy, I'm saying hello to you as well. I love you as well.
Hi, darling.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Every day is a happy day. I can be the happy in your life.
You're always happy, Daddy. Even while you were unhappy, you're always happy. You've got that grace on you to be happy, even in the midst of sadness. I love you, Daddy. So, Matthew, you can close.
You finished. Thank
Yeah.
you, everybody, for listening.